I'm going to record the session. Okay, so once again, I'm going to start this magical Microsoft Office with a few of these software. Mainly, I'm going to talk about Word, Excel, and also PowerPoint. So let me just give you a brief of what it's going to be covered in this 1 hour, right? Yeah, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Kelvin Ng. So I'm from Malaysia. Welcome all of you to my session. Now, there's a little bit of code here, which I think is very, very useful for us to keep in mind, is that you should love challenges, all right? You should intrigued by mistake. Make sure, go ahead, make mistake, love the mistake. Make sure that you learn from them, enjoy the effort, and keep learning. There's something that I want everyone to also remember is that knowledge is not for you to keep. You gain all the knowledge, no point keeping it. You should share it out. So the moment you share it out, you start to learn. You will gain even more after that. All right. So let me share with you what's going to be covered. First thing we're going to talk about is Microsoft Word. So in Microsoft Word, we're going to talk about looking into something called auto text, which is the building block. Now, I will not be able to show you everything about Microsoft Word, but I pick a few of those very useful features in Microsoft Word that I feel that everyone in this room with me now should know, which is like creating something called a building block, or in short, it's called a quick parts, and only one of them, which is auto text, which is very powerful thing to use. Then I'll move on to applying styles. Style sheet is something that is very powerful in Microsoft Word. It's one of those the feature in Microsoft Word that all of you should know. Because with the understanding of styles, you will be able to create table of content in just like 3 clicks, and your work is done. So that's how fast can be done. And we're going to talk about text wrap. We're going to talk about columns. We're going to use some of these features whenever we apply the styles, right? Then Workbook Collaboration. I'm going to talk about how do you use master and sub-document, especially for those of you who are in education, or maybe you are doing collaboration with your colleagues. Each of your colleagues or each of your students are actually doing group project. So they have to put in their contribution into the project that you're working on. So we'll see how does this master and sub-document going to help you. So I get roughly about 15 to 20 minutes to do that, right? To show you this 4 bullet, right? Next in line is actually Excel. Now in Excel, I would like to talk to you about how do you do things like go to special and summarize your Excel with a single click. I actually literally mean just 1 click and you will be able to get your summary done very quickly. You will do a combination of go to special with a sum button. So that's how fast it can be. I'll tell you more about it when it comes to that. Then there's something that we are very, very good at. And I believe everyone in this room are very, very good at this particular feature. And it's called copy and paste. But this time, when we copy and paste, we're going to do a copy and paste with the operation. When I say operation, I'm actually talking about how do you do add, subtraction, division, or multiplication using your copy and paste. Now, it sounds strange, but then it's possible. We're going to talk about that, right? Then we're going to we'll do some functions. We're going to use it to clean up our messy data using the text function. Now, if you're using Microsoft 365, you don't even really need to write a lot of function. I'll show you some of the cool tricks that you can get from the Excel. Navigating through the worksheet. Now, this is something that I believe everybody doing it already. You know how to move from, let's just say your Microsoft Excel has multiple worksheets. How do you move from worksheet 1 to worksheet 2, worksheet 3, worksheet 4? I'm sure all of you know how to do that. But what happens if you have 100 worksheet? 100 worksheet, remember 100 worksheet, and you would like to move from worksheet 1 to worksheet number 80, let's say. How do you move there so quickly? We'll tell you that's a little bit of tricks that you can actually use from the navigation, and we're going to talk about that. And of course, lastly, I'm going to talk about getting a summary using a sorted data. We're going to use something called the sort and something called subtotal. We're going to talk about how to create a subtotal really quick. In just a few clicks, you can get all your data with the summary, and you can actually just expand or subtract, expand also your data and preview it. Preview it. All right, so that's on Excel. Right. Again, I have about 15 to 20 minutes around that time range to complete all these 5 items that I mentioned here. All right, the last item that I'm going to talk about will be Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, Microsoft PowerPoint. So you look at this lady, she's overwhelmed. So there's so many things that in PowerPoint that can really help you present like a professional presenter. You can move from slide to slide really quick, and you can even decide to change the flow anytime during your presentation. We will talk about that when we talk about presentation using PowerPoint in a while. Then I will also talk about some of the technical stuff, like how are we going to import our content from Microsoft Word into our PowerPoint. So assuming like all of us here in the room, when we are actually preparing or brainstorming about the topics that we are about to present, we can actually use Microsoft Word to do that. So we are going to use something called the outline view to prepare the content, to prepare all the contents. And with a few clicks, all the contents will be transferred into PowerPoint. I'm not talking about copy and pasting. No, not copy and pasting, but it's a trick. We call it insert from outline. So we're going to do an insert from outline in the file. From outline, that's the magic word, right? And we are going to learn something that no one will actually tell us unless you attend a class, which is called reuse slides and also custom slideshow. A lot of us know how to use PowerPoint, but how do we manage them? So there's this two feature which I feel that everyone who is a presenter, be it or not, you are a presenter or not, when you are presenting your slide or you are the one that preparing the slides, you should know how to reuse slides and how do you create custom slideshow. I'm going to show you how you can just manage one deck, and you just do a buffet, pick whatever you want to present, and or pick whatever slide that you want to add on very quickly using reuse slides and also custom slideshow. All right. Now, of course, the last item here, we're going to talk about some of the new item which is inside the Microsoft 365, which is called the insert a cutout picture in PowerPoint. We can also do it with the feature, and we can also just insert the picture. Nowadays, we want all these images done very quickly. So you look at this lady, the picture was being cut out, and yeah, the hair and everything. So the hair. So this actually a two item. The picture and the background is two totally different items. If I go back to the previous slide, you see, it's the same background, but the different guy. How to take out the background of this image, the original image, and put just the man or the lady in your slide. So these are some of those things that a lot of people wants to do, but they struggle because it doesn't really look good after they have done it. I'm also going to share with you, there are some third-party software or application that you can try that as well. So let's look into that. So I'm going to jump in directly into my Microsoft Word now. Let me just stop share for a while. All right, so nice to see so many people. They are so very familiar, so many familiar faces as well. So thank you for coming and your support. All right, so let me just turn on my first file. Give me a second. I'm going to start with Microsoft Word. I'm going to start with Microsoft Word. Hey, this is what you are seeing now. Now, this is not actually a proper letter, it's a template letter that I downloaded from the internet just for this particular reason. I want to share with you what are you going to see? What are you going to see if you you want this document and you need to use this document over and over again each time when you prepare your document, right? So I'm going to, okay, let me just move something here. So what's going to happen now is that I'm going to select the entire document. I'm going to press Control A, okay. I'm selecting everything. I'm going to put this into my auto text. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to insert. At the end here, there is a button that says quick parts, explore the quick parts. So I'm going to click inside the quick parts. And if you can see, the first item in the quick parts is the auto text. I would like to introduce this auto text to you. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to save this as an auto text. So I'm going to call this one as the, maybe I'll call this one as an intro letter. Maybe I'll call it letter. Oh, I just call it business letter. Okay, I'll call this as business letter. I'm going to save it as a gallery, auto text. I just click OK. So you must be wondering, why should I do all this, right? Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear out my entire file. Now, this file now is empty. I press delete, and now I want it back. I want back the letter. Now, I'm not going to undo. I'm assuming that I'm going to start a brand new file. So let me just show it to you. Okay, I think the best way for me to do this is to start a brand new file. So I click a brand new file. So this is document 1. If you look up here, it's called document 1. That means I didn't do this previously. It is a brand new file. Now, if you remember the name of the auto text I put in just now, I will type BUSI. Now, the moment I type BUSI, you will notice that there is this business letter and it says press enter to insert. Now, how can this computer become so intelligent in the sense that they know that what I'm actually looking for? So you imagine now I press enter, I have my entire letter out again, just like that, right? Without actually retyping the letter. So if you have those letters such as letter of demand, application letter, now you have many different type of document. You just select the entire document and put it into auto text, and you can reuse it over and over again. So let me repeat. Let me just close this file. Close this out. I just want to prove to you that it's a brand new file. So I click a brand new file. Then from here, I just type BUSI. It's already there. Then I just press enter and the letter is out. All right. So I can do that again. Now, if I cannot remember the name, I can always go to insert. Then I go to this auto text. I can always press business letter and it's there. Right. So I can work really fast. So anyone who comes to me and say, I need this letter to be ready. So I just go to the auto text, fill in some details that I need to put in just less than a minute. Maybe once I key in all the information that's required, I can email out already. So how can you prepare a letter so fast? It's because you put it into the auto text, right? So just to give you an idea what you can do with it, make sure it's a ready letter. You only have to prepare once, then you put it into the auto text. So that's my first thing that I want to share with you. Right. So I have a couple of things else that I want to share with you. Right. So I'm going to talk about gardening. Now, I believe some of you here are also into gardening. So I'm going to use styles. So I'm going to click on this file, styles. Okay. So this is actually a document I downloaded from the internet. This information about gardening, they are real document that is available on the internet. You can find their free blog that you can actually just get it from there. Now, this particular information that I'm getting here is about gardening. I have a title here. So this title, I have predefined it to something called heading. Now, this is what I meant by styles. This is what I'm talking about. So this is the styles that I'm talking about. So by default, whenever you type something, it's always inside the style called normal. Every time when we start a brand new document, it's always normal. Okay, so we put it as, now I have put it in as a heading. Then I'll go on to the next title here. Say there's another title here. It's also heading. But for the rest of the topic, is actually using something called normal, right? See, it's using normal. So for those line here, they are actually called normal. Let me just call this out. All right. So you see, they are not using normal. In this case, they are using body text. I prefabricate this file, so I'm using body text. For all the title, I'm using heading 1. So I click this button here to open up the list. So if you look at the list, there are a lot of title that you can, a lot of different styles that you can use for your document. So every time when I press a normal paragraph, it's body. Title, it will use heading, right? Now go on. A few more titles here, making a compose file. Then what I have here is hot or cold, another title. I just go through this. Now I have another one here called compose and soil. I click on it, and this time is using heading 2. Heading 2 could be something like your subtitle. So from this main title, hot or cold, I have a subtitle called compose file. Then moving on, I have posting do's and don'ts, right? So if you look carefully, this document, it's divided into, right? It's actually divided, and you notice something, there is a different in the pages. So let me just zoom out a little bit. You notice that the last page is actually in a landscape format, but the other pages are in portrait format. Yeah, so this is a document which has been predefined by me. So there is something that is called section break, which I've already done. Section break, that means whatever on top here is going to be one section, and the bottom here is another section. And for this particular section, I decided to use something called the orientation landscape. So when I do that, it does not affect the rest of the pages. It's only this page that's going to be landscape. Now that's because I use something called a section break. Where can I do that? It's here. Section break, section break, and I apply the next page section break. If you look at it, it says next page section break. Now, the main reason why I'm showing you all this is just to let you know what has been applied to this document. Right now, there's no what you call this hidden story behind this. I mentioned everything to you. So what's going to happen next is I'm planning to put in something called I'm planning to put in the table of content, right? In this case, table of content. So I'm going to put the table of content now. Normally, table of content is going to be at the beginning of the document. So as I promised earlier during the introduction, all I need to do is 3 clicks, 3 clicks. So what I did here is I put my cursor right in front of the document, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to reference, number 1. So that's my first click, reference, first one. And the second click will be this button here called table. So I'm going to click the table of content. So I do that. That's my second click. And my third click is just going to be table, insert table 2. So when I click this, my table of content is ready. So let me just zoom in. You see, a table of content is ready. So that's how fast a table of content can be created. Now, all this magic stuff that you see will only work if the title that you would like to appear in the table of content are in heading 1, heading 2, or even heading 3 if you have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main title, and the rest of them are the other one, compose and soil, as I mentioned, it was heading 2. So now they created something like this for me. So do you notice that it's actually very fast? Things like this can be done in just no time, right? It's really quick. All right. Let me see what's that. Someone typed something in the group chat. All right. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that when you prepare documents like this, right? When you prepare document like this, I'm sure you have never seen a document where the table of content and the content is in the same page. That doesn't really work well. If you are going to have a document, normally your table of content is in a single page by itself, and the rest of the topic will be in a different page. So if you look at this why compose, and then you have this what is a compose file, they are staying in the same page together with the title. Let me just zoom out a little bit. See that? They're sharing that. Now, what I want to do for a proper document is that every main title should start at the new page. I don't want them to be joining up in the same page. I want each title to be in a different page. So this is what I'm going to do. I already know that I'm using something called heading 1 for the title. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go to heading 1, right click it and modify. Okay, I'm going to insert something called a page break. So I'm going to format, paragraph. So this is where you modify the formattings for your styles. I'm going to modify, paragraph. So this is where I'm going to go. In this paragraph, I'm going to look inside here called insert line and page break. This is where I'm going to. Right? So if I click here, all I need to do now is tell tell Microsoft Word, sorry, that you would like to insert a page break before the title. Assuming that title, compose file, you would like to have a page break before. So that's what I'm trying to do, right? So this one, right? Then okay. Okay again. Notice they go missing. Now they actually go down to the next page. They are now in a brand new page. Now you witnessed yourself earlier, after this Y compose, there is another title, but the title is not there anymore. It's actually starting in a new page. So by doing this, you don't have to push the pages one by one to the proper new page in the sense, right? You see, every new title now starts with a brand new page. So that's what you can do with styles. So please explore. Please explore what you can do with the styles. There's a lot more. If I would like to change all the title to green and bold, so all I need to do is just modify. I just go to this bold and I want to change the color to green. Right, then I hit OK. So it's green and bold, green and bold. So no more working long hours with the documents. So if someone comes to you and say, no, this green doesn't look good, I want you to put a darker green. So that's not a problem at all. So let's choose a darker green. There you go, darker green. And now it's a darker green. So perhaps this is a better green for our document. I'm not too sure, right? Depends. So these are some of the formattings that you can work with whenever you are dealing with documents, which is like formattings. And yeah, this is how you can do it. All right, now what I'm planning to do is that whenever we are doing some blogging or we are doing some articles, right? We would like the first line of each paragraph to be indented, only the first line of every paragraph. So one more formatting to share with you, modify. So I go to this format, paragraph. So what do you think I will do? Right? I'll go to back to the indentation. I'll choose this first line indentation, first line indentation. Okay, let me just zoom in. I'm going to do a special indentation for only the first line of each paragraph. So first line, and I'm going to leave it as 1 centimeter. Let's take a look, 1 centimeter. All right, so I'm going to hit OK, then OK again. There you go, they move in. Now, where am I doing it? I'm doing it in the heading. That's not what I want. So you notice that all the heading will move in because that I'm doing it on the heading. So what do you think I should do? Is this correct? No, this is not, right? So let's reverse the whole process. Let's reverse the whole process. So I would like to ask in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and let me know. Some of you may already know, but you let me know. What is it that I should do in order to make the entire document only the paragraph, not the title? What should I do? Can someone answer me? Maybe Suen, you can
Yeah,
tell
let
me
me
what
test.
should I
Can
use?
I?
Yeah, please type.
Hi, okay. I guess would be the normal.
What am I using here?
This one is a body text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All the
highlighted.
contents in this document, they don't use normal, they use body text. So I will go to the body text, modify. I will repeat the same thing. Thank you, Tai. Thank you so much for your answer just now. So I'm going to go to first line. I'm going to change it to 1 centimeter again. Right now, okay, then okay again. There you go. Now, choose the right style to change. Now, I did it on purpose that we get overwhelmed. Everything is a heading one. Everything also heading one. So we made a mistake from that. Now, you must be very clear which style you want to change. I'm going to change the paragraph. So I need to check what is the style that I'm using. Then I'll modify. So you can't find it in this list this list doesn't really show everything. So you just click this button, and it will appear to show all the styles, and you check this is the style called body text. No highlighting is required. You just have to modify the style. That's it. You notice the entire document. Now this is not only the first page, but the entire document. Okay, so it changes the entire document. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, what I'm going to do next is for this title, how do you make a compose file? I'm going to highlight all this. I'm going to highlight the entire document for me. Wait, just give me a second. Too small. Okay, I'm going to highlight this entire document until the end. Right. Okay, my screen is a little bit messy. Just give me a second. Okay, it's all the way until here. So this document, right, this particular title here, how do you make a compose file? Is right from this starting point all the way to the last paragraph of this particular title. I would like to do something. I don't want it to be in a single column. So I will go into something called layout, and I'm going to change it to column. I'm going to make it 2 columns. So the entire document now is in 2 columns, right? This in 2 columns. Not the entire document, but only this topic. So what you should do is you highlight them and just change it. Now, if you are learning from some books, they will always tell you to insert section break continuous, then insert the section break continuous, and many more. So now, what you should do, the fast way is just highlight which part of the document you would like to change the number of columns. If you think 2 is too little, you can change it to 3. Now you have 3 columns. Now it looks like a newspaper column now. So you don't want you want 2 columns. Yeah, you can do that. So this is how we can have document with different number of columns in this example. Right. Okay, so just highlight and just change it. Now, what's going to happen next in here is, okay, if I plan to put in some picture, I just click anywhere in here. I go to insert picture. I have some files which I'm already using. Just give me a second. In my Microsoft Word. So I have some images here which I can use. Right? These are some of the images. So I'm going to use, let's just say this man. I'm going to put this man into my document. So I'm going to insert. Wow. So this is the handsome man. They do gardening. I think a lot of ladies will fall for him. I'm going to make this picture a little bit smaller with, right? Just with maybe, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm just make it a bit smaller, right? A bit smaller. And this is what happened every time you insert a picture, correct? The text will just shy away. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do something called type. I'm going to use a text wrapping. If you can see here, next to the picture, they have this layout option, and the text wrapping that I'm going to use is called type. So I'm going to click type. There you go. Let me make him bigger now. You can see that the text is actually wrapping around him. So I can do this very nicely, very nice document that it actually helped me to design my document. And if you have a product, you want to put your product in the middle, this is where you go. So you just click this and choose the wrapping called type. If you use something called square, they only have a square, but they are not going to wrap around the white area of your picture. So if you use type, then it will do that for you. Right? So this is the one that helps you to move the picture around, because most of the time, whoever uses Microsoft Word, right, they will find that I can't move the picture freely. Now, with the wrapping styles that is available, you can do that. So very quickly, right? Now, let me just go to another what do you call this page? Huh? I'm just going to insert another picture, similar way of doing this. So I'm going to put in this flower. Again, you see, this is what happened. They will shy away. All the text will be shied away. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do the type again. There you go. So it can be a very nice document with a picture at the side like this. So what do you think? With pictures and text merge together and form a beautiful document, right? So let me see what is inside the chat. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Yeah, it is actually that easy. It's actually that easy. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is, okay, let me just see what is missing from here. So I'm going to talk about something called Workbook Collaboration. So I'm going to close my Microsoft Word file now. Okay, this Word file is done. Okay, and I'm going to share with you. Okay, I'm not going to save this. No. Okay. Let me share with you the folder that I'm having here. Now I have a folder in my desktop. There's this document called master document, right? This is my master document. Now, I have a team collaboration work with a few people. I have a few people that I need to work together. So I go to this master document. So this is the Word document that I'm having now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. But I need someone else to help me write some of this topic here. So for example, why compose? What is a compose file? So I need someone to write for me the topic. Right? For example, I will get Dr. Claire. Dr. Claire, can you please write about this why compose? So then I'll say, hey, Sue Ann, can you help me to write what is a compose file? Then I will get Tai, do this for me. And Siti Surani, can you please write this for me? And I get Koska, can you do this for me? So I am going to divide the job to my team. So this is probably what I want to do. Now, in order to do this, I need to go to a view called outline view. This is the outline view. Right, this is the outline view. And what happened is that I have promoted each of this title to level 1. See, they are all level 1. Each and every title has been promoted to level 1. So from here, I'm ready to tell, okay, Dr. Claire, you're going to write why compose for me. So I'm going to expand this document. Right, I'm going to click here. I'm going to show the document. This is called the master document area. Right. So okay, so why compose? I'm going to show document, then I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell them, please take this title and create a master document. Now, before that, I'm just going to show you the folder again. So there is only one Microsoft Word document here, only one. So what I'm going to do is go back to this document. I'll create. I click create. Right. So when I do that, this is now a sub document. Then I click the second title here. This is for another team member. So I'm going to make 2 only for this, for the purpose of this exercise. So once I'm done with this, I will save the document. Now I remember I show you the folder. There's only one Word document, but now let's take a look at it. There are 2 or 3. There are additional 2 more files. We have the why compose. We have the what is a compose file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to email the why compose to Dr. Claire. I'm going to what is a compose. I'll email it to Sue Ann. So they are going to fill up the information, right? So this is what's going to happen. Assuming that Dr. Claire received this through email, he came in, then she start to type in some of the content. So yeah, she can write French, she can write Spanish. So this is what she have given me. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste her content here. Wait, let me just put a space. Okay, so this is what she have written. I'm just going to make a few of this. All right, these are the things that Dr. Claire has put in. So once she have done, she will save the file. She will save the file. So now, if I go back to my master document, the information is already in here. Now, I purposely just whack the keyboard and I just put in some bogus text. There you go. It's updated. So if I exit this particular outline view, the document looks like a normal document with a new content now, Y compose. And whenever Dr. Claire decided to type more, okay, so this time she put in some text again, okay, and she colors this red color. She colored the text red. Now, if I go back to my document again, right, is there any update? Right, so let me just go back to my master document and see. Right, is there any updates? No, it does not, right? Why? Who can tell me why? Why is it not updated?
You need to save the file.
Yeah, so once I click the save, then when I go back in here, am I getting it? It's there. So every time when you completed the document, it's very normal. The process is you save it. So once you save it, then you know it's going to be updated, right? That's how it can be done really quick, right? So that's what we call the master document. When you are doing a team collaboration with so many people, this is like a magical thing that can happen. So the moment I receive my file from Dr. Claire, I will just drop it inside the folder and I'll just make sure that I open up using my outline view here, and then everything else will be there. Right. So I purposely color this red so that you know the difference. Okay, so I hope this is useful. These are some of the useful tips that you can use in your Microsoft Word. All right, so thank you. Now, I'm going to move on to my next topic on Microsoft Excel. Now, because time is the concern here, I'm going to do a little bit faster now. I'm going into Excel. Right, go to Excel. So I'm a little bit, what you call this? I'm a little bit greedy. I want to show you a lot of things. So time is the factor. I only have an hour or so. So, but I'll try my best to give you as much as I can. So now I'm going into something called a magical tricks. There are 3 simple topics that I'm going to talk about in Microsoft Excel. So give me a second. It's opening up the file. All right, there you go. Okay, now this is a very common Excel documents that we prepare. And I want you to know that I want to get a total for each of this quarter. So January, February, March, I want to add it up. Quarter 2, April, May, June. And I want to know every month what is the total for the branch A, branch B, and branch C. I need all this title, all this topic, all this title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this blue color area. Now I need the total for those blue color area. So what I'm going to do is, now assuming that this document is really big, but I'm just making a small one here. I'll go to this feature called Go To Special. And I'll tell them to go to the blank cell. Whatever that I highlighted here, just go to the blank cell. Then I hit OK. So there you are. I'm only highlighting the blank area of the particular selection. So all I need to do is just one click, and the titles are the totals are ready. I don't really need to work one by one, copy and drag it down, copy and drag, copy and drag. I don't do that. I can quickly just get this total very, very fast. Right? So that's what you can do to the document. All right. So let me just undo. Sorry. Okay. How I do this is I highlight again. I highlight this. Then I tell them go to special. go to the blank area. Then all I need to do is just click the auto sum. Yeah, that's how fast the report can be ready. Yeah, in just one click away. That's how we do it. Now I need to do it for the grand total for the bottom. I'll do the same. Let me repeat the same step. Go to special, go to the blank, and all I need to do is just click the sum. Get it done. Now, why don't I just click at the side there and just sum it? Now, if I click at the side here and sum it, then I have to copy it down. There's a lot of things that is going to happen, like the formatting is going to follow and so on, right? And if you look at this formula, right? If I could just double click this, you will notice something. They actually did not add up those months, but they add up the quarters only. Right? If I click down here, you will notice that they only add up the totals and not the branch A, branch B, branch C. They only add up the total. So this formula is automated that you can do this really quick. All right. So what is the comment? Yeah. So this is how you can really do this really fast. Right? Ty, thank you for sharing the steps just now. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next tip. Right? Hopefully all these tips can help you do things really quick. Huh? Now I'm from Malaysia. And when I prepare my report, my boss tells me, hey, you have two report here, data 1 and data 2. So my boss says, can you please add up both the table? And these numbers are all in USD. All these are in USD. So my boss says, hey, I have table 1, I have table 2. Can you please add up these two? So let's study one of the number here. It's 49,000 and this one is 100. So I have 49,000 plus 100. It should be 49,100. So I'm going to use a very unique feature called copy and paste. Now, to many people, copy and paste is Control C, Control V, right? So I'm going to do something similar, but I'm not going to use Control C, Control V. I'm just going to click the copy button. Okay, Control C will work this time. Control C, I copy this. Then I need to paste it here. But I'm not going to paste. If I do that, then it will just replace the 100. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into this paste special, right? This button here. So I'm going to click this and go to paste special. So this time I want to draw your attention to the middle portion here called the operation. Okay, so what do? You click on the add. Why is it that each time you copy and paste, they will overwrite whatever that you have copied? It's because you are using the operation called none. Now, without knowing, you are actually using the operation called none. Wow, nice food. Right, so sorry about that. We are going to use add, and let's take a look. It's 49,100. Now, I am not preparing another table just to get this information. I am just basically just work with copy and paste. That's it. All right. So that's how fast my report can be done. I just copy this. I just paste it here. Right? Just copy and paste add, 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 because I plan to put these two numbers together. Then the next instruction my boss gave me was, right, can you please deduct 100 ringgit? Now, remember I told you all this value that you see here, they are basically in USD. But my boss gave me a very simple instruction. Deduct 100, but not 100 USD, 100 ringgit. So I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? So now I'm going to assume that the exchange rate is 4.5, $1 to 4.5 ringgit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go to any of the cell up here. I'm going to put here 4.5. And I put a comma style to make it look nice. I'm going to make a copy to this 4.5. So let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, this is 4.5. Okay, so 4.5, I make a copy, Control C. I will highlight all this value and I'm going to convert it into Ringgit Malaysia first. So what I'm going to do is paste special. I'm going to do multiply. So 4.5 multiply each of this number. There you go. It's in for that. Now, after that, my boss says, can you please deduct 100 ringgit? So that's what I'm going to do. Deduct 100 ringgit. So I'm going to copy 100 ringgit. Highlight all this. I'm going to paste special. This time I'm going to subtract. Subtract. So now, okay, before I do that, you take a look. This is 220950. So I'm going to deduct a 100. It should be 850. Let's see whether it works. There you go. 220850. Right. So what I'm going to do next is I need to submit my report in what they call the USD. I need to return the number in USD. So I'm going to take this formatting, make a copy of this formatting over here. All right. I purposely use a different formatting. Then you were wondering, hey, everything is not in the same formatting anymore. So what I do is I take one of this formatting, use the format painter, and I paste it over here. So this is the formatting. Then I'll make a copy. I come back here. So this time, I'm going to take each and every number here, divide by 4.5. That's the exchange rate I used earlier. So I'm going to use divide. Now it's back to USD. So after minus 100 ringgit from the list, I'm done. There is no extra table created. There is no extra column for any calculation. You notice I'm not even using formulas, right? I'm just using copy and paste, right? I hope you like this introduction of the feature called copy and paste. Yeah, they are very, very good. Yeah, thanks, Ty, for keep summarizing it for me. Yeah, you are awesome. Now next, I'm going to go into this one. Okay, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Now, what's going to happen in this example here is, assuming I have completed my report. And I submitted this to my boss. Guess what? When he looked at the report, he said, no, that's not what I want. I want you to put the title at the top on the left. And the title on the left at the top, I want you to switch the table. Now, it's easy to say, but if you do not know the right technique, you are going to get yourself into like long hours of copy and pasting. Now, we are still going to use copy and paste, but this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a copy of this, right? I highlight this, make a copy, Control C, as usual, right? I click here. I click on this cell here. Then what I do, okay, let me just go a little bit higher. Then I will go to this space special. I will click on this button here called transpose. Now, alternatively, if I do not want to go into this paste special, I can always click the drop down arrow, the last button here. If you look at this button here is called transpose. So I can just show you very quickly on this. If I click on this, there you go. It's already transposed. So I just click this, I'm done. So all I need to do now is just adjust the column size. Our report is ready, right? But what I will do is I will submit this report to my boss maybe an hour later, not immediately. Right? The more he knows that I can do this fast, I'm going to be a lot of work coming to me. Nah, I'm just joking. Yeah, you definitely want to show off that you can really do this kind of things really fast. Right? Excel is just that easy for you. Right? So these are some of the things that you can use to show off in your Microsoft Excel. Right, next, right? The next thing that I want to talk about here is basically not much of a formula, right? Not much of a formula, but if I want to get a full name, now this is to clean up our data. If I have a set of data which I have first name and last name, I want to put it into the full name. Now, let me start with formula. You might want to use formula. So the formula that you are supposed to write can be a function called concatenate, or something really simple. I'm just going to use this equals to Amila. Now I'm going to use the ampersand symbol, the and symbol. Then I'll put a space, put another and symbol. I'm going to use a carpenter. So as what we always write in English, right? We say, I'm going to combine Amila, and carpenter. So the and symbol is what you're going to use to do the combination. But because we need a space in between, therefore we put a space. So some of us may say, no, the boss don't want you to put a space. They want you to put a colon in between. So go ahead and do that. So you have Amila, colon, carpenter. But in this example, we need a space. So that's what we can get. Right? So if you just double click this, you get everything up. So something that you may need like hours of your time to prepare, right? You can be done in just a few seconds, perhaps. Now, it can be even faster if you do not want to write any formula. Let me just remove the sample up here. I can do this. I'm not going to write any formula. You just look. Don't blink your eye because it's going to be quite fast. A-M-I-L-A, carpenter. So if I'm going to write this manually myself for the first one, every time when you do that, right, when you type the first one, Excel will start. Excel will start to think, okay, how did you get this? Amila carpenter. So they will start to look around. What is the pattern? Then they will try to give you a solution as quick as possible. Now, you see, I'm going to type the second name, E-V-A, and before I could even finish the spelling, they give me something, this is a sample here. Right? So I just press enter. I'm done. Right? So I don't really need to write formulas in this case. So there's a lot of built-in artificial intelligence kind of a thing, the business intelligence in the file that you can find them in Office 2016 and above. Right? They are really, really cool. You can write the formula or you can just give them a sample. Right? So you give them the work by sample, then they will find out, is this what you normally do? Okay? So I am doing a combination of two columns into one. I can do the reverse. If I have a column, which is the full name, now I want to find out the first name. So I will type Amila. Okay. Then I'll type EV. Then they will try to find the consistency in your work. Is this what you are going to do? Yes, you got it done. So there's no formula that is required for you to do this. Right? Then the second one here, you can type there carpenter. And the second one here, you type there York. Enter. You're done. So again, the Microsoft Excel is now transforming the way you work. The process that you're going to do your work is a lot easier. But of course, you need to upgrade your Microsoft Office to Office 2016 and above, right? That will definitely work for you. Okay, now, okay, let me see what's in the chat. Yeah. Thank you guys for the comment, right? Now, let's take a look at this topic, the bonus topic that I want here. Now, most of us, when we receive the what you call data, we download the data or we receive the data from the system. Most of the time, they will give the names in all capital letter like this. In all capital letter like this. Now, for this one, I want to show you using the formula. The formula that you can use is just the function called proper, and you just point it here. So what they will do is they will make the first alphabet of each word become capital and the rest is small letter. Okay. Or you can use back the same technique that I showed it to you. Like maybe it worked. Let me just try. Maybe it worked. Amila, carpenter, then EV, and yeah, they actually work. Right? Do you notice that they work? So you can just type or you can use a formula. So since we already know that they can do that, if you are going to write formula, now this is the formula that you can write. Okay, now moving on. Now I need to rush a little bit. Moving on, if you look at this information, now this is very common, especially when you are downloading your data or you copy and paste the data from a PDF file, or you go to a website, you saw a very nice list of names, you copy and paste it into your Excel, and this is what's going to happen. Now I see with my own eyes that when I visit some of my clients, they do this. They double click this, Then they come in from here, then it's space again. They do this very manually. So that's very painful. Now, if you only have 7 names, fine, do that. But if you have 70 names, 700 names, 7,000 names, I don't think you want to do that. So what you do is you just type equals to trim, and then you just point to this. All right, so enter. There you go. It cleans up your data quickly. So do you notice all these tips that I'm sharing with you is just a little bit of them? There's so many of them, but do you realize that everything happens in just seconds? It's not even a minute. In just a few seconds, if you're doing this quietly, each of these things that you are doing will take you about 2 to 3 seconds and it's done. That is only if you know what is available that you can use to complete your task. All right. So these are all very cool and neat kind of a trick for you to clean up your data. All right, let's see what's in the group chat. Yeah, you do it manually now. That's why you spend so many hours in your Excel file and cleaning up. So remember, it's just the trim function, or you can try to use a latest version where you just type and they will know what to do, right? All right, so this is one of the example I want to show you to you. Now the second one here, this is going to be a lot easier. Let me open up the file. So if you look at the bottom here, I have quite a bit of file. I got January 2014, February 2014, March 2014. I have so many worksheets, right? So many worksheets. Usually if I'm in January 2014, I want to move to February, we'll just click. We'll just click, and we keep on moving, right? But if I'm in January and I would like to move on to other worksheet really quick, please do not do this. Don't go to this button here at the side here, and then start clicking it. Start clicking this button like tick 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 tick, tick all the way to find your worksheet. Now I know most of us do that, especially when you have no other ways to do that. No other ways to move around. So what you should be using is this, right? So click here, right click. You can click anywhere actually. Just click anywhere. Right click on this navigation, right click it, and you can see the list of all your worksheets. So if I'm planning to go to January 2015, I click it and okay. Now I'm in January 2015. If I need to move back to August 2014, I just do that. I'm in August 2015, 14. I can move from worksheet to worksheet really quickly. All I need to do is come down here. You see, it says that right click to see all the sheets. So what you do is right click, choose which worksheet you want to go. Now I have to pronounce this properly. Sheets, not sheet. You don't want to see all the sheet. Right click on the worksheet, the navigation, and yeah, you want to see all the worksheets. There you go. You can go there. So if you want to look at the sales data, 2015 sales data, again, now you are in a different worksheets altogether. So that's a moving. You can move really fast. All right. So this is just some tricks that you can work with. All right. Let me close this file. This file again. Just afraid the machine will hang if I do too many files. Now I have number 3 here, which is the Power Query. Now the time has overrun a little bit. I haven't even started my PowerPoint yet, so I hope you will bear with me. I promised an hour, but it looks like I'm a bit overwhelmed. Now, what is going to happen in this exercise is I'm actually looking at a piece of database that is given to me. So I'm planning to do some conciliation. I have a report that tells me that this is how much I managed to collect from the customer segment based on the customer segment and the sales manager. So I'll do some checking whether or not I am getting the data correctly. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to work with some sorting. So I'm going to this worksheet, right, and I'm going to go to data, I'm going to do the custom sort. So in this custom sort, I will tell them to sort by customer segment. All right. I'm going to do it by A to Z, right? A to Z. Then I'm going to add, I'm going to do this, sales manager, A to Z, add, and I'm going to put in here net profit. For the net profit, I would like to show the highest value at the top to the lowest value at the bottom. So once I hit OK, my data has been arranged in a way that it's easier for me to find the information. But what I actually want is to get a quick summary out of this. So I'm going to click the subtotal. Okay, now where do I find this? It's inside the data ribbon, subtotal. So this is the button called subtotal. Whenever I'm using the subtotal, I should start from the biggest group. So in this case, the biggest group is the customer segment. So I'm going to tell them that at each change in, now I'm not going to use the document number, I'm going to change it to customer segment. Right? So I told you I want to start with the biggest group, my first group, customer segment. I'm going to use the function called sum, add a subtotal to the net profit. So let me just zoom in so that you can see this. So this is what I meant just now. Use each, at each change in the customer segment, so the customer segment, I'm going to use the sum function and get a subtotal to the net profit. That's exactly what I'm going to do, right? So when I hit OK now, it's done. But what I need to do is I need to focus on this side here. This is where the grouping is. So there are a grouping of 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to click the number 2 to see the summary. I can click 1 to see the bottom line. Number 2 is the summary of each segment. Number 3 is the detail. I don't want to see the details, so I click number 2. From here, do you notice that I did not even write any formula? I didn't write any formula. I'm just using what we call subtotal. And now I want to go to the next level, So I'm going to go to subtotal again. Now, after creating the subtotal for the biggest group, now I'm going for the second biggest group, which is the sales manager. So this time I'm going to do this. At each change in, I'm going to use the sales manager, sum. I'm going to use back the same function, sum to the net profit. But before I click OK, I must make sure I know what I'm doing. Do I want to replace whatever subtotal that is currently created, or I want to add on? So in my example, I want to add on. So I have to get rid of this replace. Otherwise, it will just replace whatever that I have here. So I'm going to click OK. There you go. I have a quick summary without even writing a single formula. And then now I can double check with the report given to me. Is this Erin from consumer? Is it 26,000? William, is it 40,000? Now, if I need to know the detail why William is 40,000, I can click the plus symbol at the end here to extract the data just for William in the consumer total. So when I do that, the rest of the manager data is not extracted, it's not expanded. I only look at consumer, William, and this is the transaction. So I have a very systematic way of reading my data now. So the step-by-step is that you must make sure that your data is sorted according to the order that you want. Then move on to subtotal following the order that you have sorted. So the first level, second level, followed by the third level if you have. Otherwise, you can always click the button up here. So you see they got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can get back the total. Right, that's Excel, and that's how we should use our report. Now, after done, I've checked everything. Then I want my data to go back to normal. All I need to do is go back to subtotal. If you study the button here, there's one button says remove all. Yeah, we just click that. Ta-da, back to normal. As if I have not done any checking. Everything is back to normal. Right, so that's what I can share with you in Microsoft Excel. Right, so in Microsoft Excel. All right, now I have to really be fast. I have to move on to PowerPoint. All right, so let me just move out of this, go to my PowerPoint. I'm going to turn on another PowerPoint file. All right, so this is my PowerPoint file. Now, what I have done prior to this preview, right, this webinar, I have created a document here. I created a document where I have all these titles. They are all together 16 slides, and what I did was I wrote down a piece of paper. Now I can't show you the paper, so I actually put it into a notepad. So in this notepad, I have listed down all the titles. So I will put this next to me, assuming I wrote it down on the piece of paper, if you can see the paper. If assuming I'm writing down on the piece of paper, I just leave it on the table. Okay. I want to talk to you about how do you present your slide like a pro, where you can actually know which slide you are going to next. Now, let me give you an example of why I'm doing this. Let me give you an example of this. Let me just go into the full screen here first. Okay, now I'm not using full screen. I'm using something called the reading pane. The reason why I'm doing this because I would like to show you the notepad. At the same time, I want you to see my slide here. So assuming I'm going back to my slide number 1. So this is my introduction slide. Let me give you a scenario. What's going to happen? I have a scheduled meeting with maybe Arafat. But when I meet Arafat, when I go to Arafat's office, I realize that someone else is actually meeting him. And someone else, my meeting assuming is at 2 o'clock, but someone else was actually in a meeting with Arafat and the time past 2 o'clock. So my session is 2 o'clock, but the previous speaker took up half an hour of my time. I mean, they finishes at 2:30 and I'm supposed to start at 2 o'clock. And I was given an instruction to say that Arafat is going to the airport very soon. So what's happening is I have to cut short my presentation. I have to cut short my presentation on the spot. So what I do now is that I know I have a list of slides that I'm having here. So I'm not going to delay the Arafat's appointment, the next appointment. So I'm just going to keep to my timing, right? So what I'm going to do is I put an asterisk in some of the slides. So I say these are the important slides that I need to tell Arafat in my presentation. Now I'm in slide number 1. The second slide is called the core topics. The third slide is called the company overview. But I'm not interested to show Arafat this because of the time constraint. I need to move on fast. So my whole situation is I am supposed to present the business concept to Arafat. So I'm going to go to number 9. So all I need to do is on my keyboard, the keyboard that I usually use to type, I will type 9, then I press enter. Right? So, no, sorry, wrong place. I'm supposed to do it in the slide, right? In the slide here, right? In the slide here. So I'm not going to click. I'm going to go back to number 1. So I'm in slide number 1. So I just press number 9, enter. So I am now in the slides called business concept. Okay. Then the next asterisk that you see is 11. So I press number 11, enter. So I press 1, enter, and go to business opportunity. Then the final slide that I want to talk to Arafat is called the financial flexibility. So I'm going to go into slide number 13, press enter. I'm there. Then I will ask Arafat, do you have any question? Maybe Arafat will come back to me and say, can you tell me a little bit about your company? Right? So, okay, let's talk about my company. Now, my company, I will start explaining about the company. Right? Then he says, now, do you have a strong support of team members? So what you do is you go to number 12. Now, these are my team members. I have Margaret Tan, I have Vincent, I have Ronnie, who are the people behind all this project that we are building, right? So have you done any research on this particular business concept that you're talking about? For that, the status that we are having for this, you just present as and when he asks a question. So you don't have to go through the flow as planned. You can just jump the slides and finish. So once you are done, on the keyboard, you just press B to black out the screen, right? And the screen will be black out, right? So in this case, because this is a full slideshow, the B actually don't work. But if it's a full slideshow and you press B, it will black out the screen, then it's over. Right? So you can finish up your slides in any time during the show. So you can always go back to slide number 1, right? That's all I need to say. Thank you. Then you do that. So present as if like you are planning it to be that way. Although you have 16 slides, doesn't mean you need to talk about all the 16 slides because of the timing that given to you is not possible. All right, so these are some of the things that you can consider. Now, then they'll ask you like, what is the perks for joining this? So you can put that, okay. Now, for you to join this particular business concept, the risk is this and the reward is this. So you talk about that information. Then you go back to number 1 again. So it's like whatever they want to know, it's all at your fingertip. You can show them, right? So when times is not at your side, the planning that you have put in. So this is where you can actually make sure that things work for you in that way, right? So let's see what's in the chat. Right. So especially yeah, right. So when times is not there, it's very very quick way. You're right, Arafat. This is very easy. Just that no one tell us that this can be done. Right. So present as though you are everything is at behind your head. You just press that number and you go. Right. Now, let me just get out from this screen first. All right. Now, I'm going to start a brand new presentation. Now, this is a brand new presentation and it has nothing in it. Right? There's no content in whatsoever. Even the first slide, I decide to remove it. Now, I want to draw your attention to a file which I already prepared, which is a Word document. So I go to this Word document. Again, see, this is where we do the brainstorming. With my team members, we do the brainstorming about the agenda of my PowerPoint slides. So I go to do this view, outline view. So this is what I do. For all the title, I make it level 1, right? If you look at it, the title, they are called level 1. But for the subtitle, I will make them level 2. Right, so is it present by Kelvin Ng? So this will be level 2. Those are called level 2s. So whatever that is a title in your Microsoft Word, level 1 in your Microsoft Word will appear as a title in your PowerPoint. Whatever that appear in the second level will become the content of your slides. Okay, so you just take a look. This is how it looks like in Microsoft Word. Now I need to close this file. Right, this is how they look like. You see, I have a title called Introduction, Agenda, Learning about a Garden Company. I have something called Preparing for the Class. These are some of the topics that I prepared in Microsoft Word. Now, I would like to transfer this information into my PowerPoint slides. Let me just close this Word document. Go back to my PowerPoint slide. Remember, I have a brand new blank, and there's not even the first slide. So what I need to do now is I'm going to click on the new slide. Okay, I'm going to click on this button called new slide, and all the way down there is something called slides from the outline. Okay, I'm going to insert a slide from the outline that I prepared earlier in Microsoft Word. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me click that, show it to you here. So I need to go to the folder. Give me a second. So Microsoft PowerPoint. Remember this text from outline? Yeah, I need this. So I just insert. So just sit back, relax, take a sip of water. Or before I could even drink my water is done. Right. So you see, all the contents of my slides are done and transferred over. Did I use anything called copy and paste? No, I did not. Right. I'm just using merely just insert from there. Right. So once I'm done, I can select all the slides and I just reset it so that they follow the content that I have made here. So maybe I would like to use this thing called the layout. I want to call this title. Here you go, it's a title. Then I go into the design. I can choose any of the existing design that I already have. I'm done. That's all, right? These are some very quick way to get all my slides in, which I have prepared in Microsoft Word. I just type it out and it's in my slides now. Okay, so that's something very handy to think about, how you can actually save tons of hours copy and pasting and retype everything here. Now you don't do that. You just have to just import in. But they don't use the word import. They actually use a new slide from the outline. So you just have to do the preparation in Microsoft Word. Remember, for the title, always use level 1. For the subtitle, always use level 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter. Anything that is going to be level 2 downwards, it's going to appear as your text, as your content. All right. Now, assuming we have done this and we want to add in a few more other slides, which we already have prior to this. We already designed this. I want to add on to this list of slides. I can use this feature up here called reuse slide. Now, if you go back to your Microsoft PowerPoint, you may not see this button appearing here. So what you can do is you can click this new slide. It's actually down here, reuse slide. There's 2 places that you can actually find this. So when you click the reuse slides, right, they will appear on the right-hand side, the slides that you would like to call out from. So I'm going to do some browsing. So I'm going to look for browse. This is the Mega Symposium PowerPoint slide. This is the slide library that I have prepared earlier, slide library. I just click choose. So all the slides from my slide library is already in here. Okay, so they are here now. Okay. I want to talk about the company, say agenda, about the company, right? Learning about this. So I want to put this about us here. So I click this. I already have the slides, so I prepare it, right? Then I'm going to go into other slides here that says that the team, right? The world class. So about the preparing, no, not preparing, knowing your students. I'm going to click this guy. These are what you can put in. So you can look for the slides that relate to this. You can also add in this. So after you talk about your company, you want to introduce the team members, the people behind all this. Just add on. Just add on. Now, no more copy and pasting. From here, you just click what you want. So what are the awards that you have won? Or the SWOT analysis that you have conducted in your company? Just go through the slides and you realize that you need this particular slide. So you go to the back here, assuming after this, click, it comes in again. So you just choose whichever slide. Of course, once you place them in the wrong place, you can always adjust them. No problem. Right? You can select all the slides and reset so that they follow, or you want to use back the same design, just select all of them and just do that. This is something you can, I'm just going to leave them alone. I'm just going to leave them alone like this. So this is my first set of slides with some additional slides in here. All right. So this is what you can do by getting your slides together in just like what? I think this is less than a minute. I'm done. It's not that difficult, right? You just reuse a slide that you already prepared earlier. So this is my recommendation for you. Make sure you prepare one deck, one PowerPoint deck, where you have all your slides. Whether or not they are used for the presentation, it doesn't really matter. You just prepare all your slides. Why? Why do you do this? The reason you do this is because you want to make sure that you can reuse the slide. You can treat this like a buffet table. You just choose the slides that you're going to use for your presentation. Just click, 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 click. If you do not want it, just delete. Right? So that's how fast you can construct one module for your training. If you're doing a training, you can pull out the slides for that particular module in no time. You don't really have to reconstruct, copy and paste and so on. You just bring them into this file and start editing the content according to this particular set of audience. You can do that. All right. So that is really, really cool and really, really fast. I hope you agree with me that this is something really fast Within few seconds, I already have my presentation deck ready. Right? Now, the next thing that I want to share to you is that if I'm presenting this, I have a special group of people that I would like to present to. I can do this. I can go to the ribbon up here called slideshow, and I'm going to create something called a custom slideshow. So in this custom slideshow, I can decide which slide I want to present, right? Okay, now let me just do this. Okay, I'm going to click new. So these are all the slides. When you look at all the slides, you already number them. Then you say, okay, I want to talk about the introduction. I would like to talk about slide number 4 and 5. I want to talk about knowing your student. I want to talk about the available resources, and yeah, that's it. And the Q&A time. Right. So these are the few slides which I want. So I click add. Now, out of the number of slides that I have, right, there are 13 of them. I only choose 6 for this presentation, and I'm going to call this one as my ad hoc meeting. Right. So ad hoc meeting, I just click OK. Then I close this. Right. Now, when I'm presenting this, I got 13 slides, but when I click here, I choose ad hoc meeting. My first slide. Then I go about us, behind the scene, knowing your student, available resources, question and answer, and bye-bye. 6 slides. Although I have 13 slides, but when I present this, I only choose what I want to present by going to this slideshow, custom show, and just decide what I want to present. So that's really something that you can do really quick in presenting your data last minute. Someone gave you this. So if you have the slide library, you just add on, then you can run the slideshow. Without removing any of the slides, you can still present them. All right, so that's something that you can consider having. All right. So, okay. Do you notice that this is the picture that of a lady? Obviously, this picture comes with the background. So I'm just going to show you how you can actually take out the picture. So let me just go back to the other presentation first here. Okay, so if I want to put in a picture, so insert. Now, if you are using version 2000, no, Microsoft 365, they have pictures, right, which you can straight away just use. I can go to this icon. Now, actually not going to insert an icon, but I'm going to put out a cut out people. They give us a list of names here, right? And these are the people. So if I bring this lady, I want her to come into the picture. So I just put this on, right? So give me a second. Just going to insert. There you go. There she comes in. You notice that this is a cutout picture. I don't really need to do a lot of things. It's been cut out. Right, so for the newer version of Microsoft, you do not need to actually do any cutout yourself. Yeah, you can just insert it. I'm sure this may come in handy, especially when you want to have picture of people's inside there, which can be cleaned up really quick. Okay, that's few things that you can do in your slide. You notice that I add on her question and answer, so she's sitting down there ready to answer your question. All right. Let me see what's inside the chat. Yeah, you don't hide your slides anymore. Just use the custom slideshow. All right, so let me just move on here. All right. So I'm coming to the end of the slideshow already. Sorry, I took up an additional 30 minutes of your time. I'm so sorry about that. I just get overwhelmed and excited to talk, and I didn't stop talking. So I hope with this little bit of sharing that I have, I'm a little bit greedy. So I chose too many topics to talk about this, and I'm supposed I have timed this and I can do it in 1 hour, but sometimes I got carried away. So Thank you everyone for coming into the session. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I know if you have your busy schedule, please go ahead. Um, and the recording will be given to and will be put into the group. So feel free to revisit the video and read it again. So I'm sorry I have to speak fast so that I can talk about all the topics, right? So I'm going to stop the recording now.